Sims. I teach 2nd grade in Lincoln Parish at Simsboro High School. The video you're about to see is of an ELA lesson from the guidebook's curriculum. We're at the end of our Cinderella unit. This lesson was in preparation for the culminating task at the end of the unit. It will also be used in our study of opinion writing. In this lesson, students will sort story events and details from the different versions of Cinderella and then use that information in small groups to compare and contrast the two different versions of Cinderella. After students share some of those similarities and differences that they noticed in the two stories, each child will then choose which story is their favorite and write an opinion of the best Cinderella story. Prior to this lesson, we've read several versions of Cinderella. We've discussed each one in depth, and we've discussed opinion writing. Students understand that an opinion is what we think or what we feel, and that it's okay to have a difference of opinion. The overall goal in my classroom is for each student to realize that they are special, that they are valuable, that they can accomplish great things. This lesson relates to that in teaching students to value each other's opinion. The most important rule in our classroom is to treat others the way we want to be treated and to use kindness, which is also a major part of the Cinderella unit. And we were able to discuss this many times throughout our study of Cinderella. In our reading lesson, we have spent a lot of time, in fact, ever since school started, talking about fairy tales. And a specific fairy tale called Cinderella. What do you know about fairy tales? Toss out to me some of the things you know. Magic. Loyalty. Good versus evil. Catch my hush. Good job. I heard lots of great ideas. Once upon a time, loyalty, good versus evil, magic. I heard happily ever after, so I know you know a lot about fairy tales. Well, we're going to use that in our discussion today, because you need to know a lot about a fairy tale so that you can share your opinion of a fairy tale later. Now, we have different opinions, and we've been working on opinions in writing. Gavin, do you like the same kind of food that Miss Sims likes all the time? No. What's your favorite food? Pizza? What's your favorite food?
Chicken and dumplings.
Chicken and dumplings, a man after my own heart. Jace, what about you?
Sometimes biscuits.
Biscuits, that's great. All right, do we all think the same pumpkin is perfect? No, we have different opinions. Well, we're going to review today each Cinderella story that we have talked about so that you'll be able to give me lots of evidence and many reasons for why you chose a certain story as your favorite. If you're going to state your opinion about which story was your favorite, then you've got to know that story very well so that you can state your evidence. Now, we can't just say, I think this one is the best, and leave it at that. You need to tell your reader why. Why do you think that story is the best? So we're going to review that today. And we're going to review that at our table in a group. Miss Sims has a bag of cards for you to sort at your table. You won't see their name. You have to know which story it was using the details of the event that happened. And then each group has a chart to lay across your table so that you can place each card under the correct title. Let's go over our jobs today.
Yes, ma'am.
And make sure you know what your job is at your table. Does everybody know what card is at their table?
Yes.
Okay. So as I call out your card, listen to what your job is today during group work. Once you're settled, Miss Sims will set her timer, and then I'll come around and listen to some of your discussions. When the timer goes off, you'll stop. But someone has a special a mahogany wand, and then somebody had a magic wand. Whose wand was mahogany made out of wood? Cinderillion. And whose wand was a magic wand? That's right. Good job. Okay, continue. Now that you have reviewed all of the stories that we've read about Cinderella, we're going to move into the next step of our project today. Because we're getting ready to write our opinion. We can't just do that until we've reviewed some. So now you're going to make a Venn diagram at your table. You know, we've worked on Venn diagrams many times this year. A Venn diagram compares two different things, or two stories.
Sisters and the girl with the red slippers.
We'll write that down. That is one way they were different. Good. Now we're getting ready for your group to share how Cinderella and the version of the story you chose are alike and different. Okay, Cooper, what story did y'all choose? The girl with the red slippers. Loud for me. How are they different? How is Cinderella different from the girl with the red slippers? In Cinderella there were sisters, stepsisters. But in the girl with the red slippers, there were no sisters, there were servants. That's great, I agree. How were they alike? Were they both treated poorly? Yes, good job. I see lots of thumbs. I even see 2 thumbs up back there. Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Sims told you that the reason we were reviewing these stories, all of the Cinderella stories that we had worked on so far, in fact, we've read them all, was so that you could write your opinion of the best Cinderella story, the one you like best. Now, I already know that from your table discussions today, you have different opinions because we didn't all write about the same one, and that's okay. You can have an opinion that's different from mine as long as you give your reasons. Give your reasons. So you're going to begin an opinion of your favorite version of Cinderella. Let's make sure that we know what an opinion needs to have, and then I need your help creating a rubric before you go to your table. Let's take a few minutes to gather your thoughts about which version of Cinderella you think is best. You're going to write your title. You all know to do that. And then indent that introduction, give me your opinion, and you can get started on your reasons. All right. DJ, can you tell me why Yay Shin was your favorite?
Because the stepmother and the sisters treated Yashin poorly, but Yashin treated them with kindness.
It's a great way to be, isn't it? It's a great way to treat people. I want you to put that in your orange folder and then give me your eyes and ears. I'm going to give you a countdown to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. question for you about our activities this morning. We talked a lot about our opinions. What are opinions? Opinions are how we feel, what we think. In the real world, we have lots of different opinions. Is it okay to have a different opinion? Yes. But we need to know why we think or feel some way. So we need to state our evidence or have a reason. Okay. It's very important to remember that if someone has a different opinion from you, how should you treat that person? With respect. It's okay to have a different opinion. You want them to treat you with kindness, so we need to treat them with kindness. And that is probably the most important lesson that we've learned from all of our Cinderella stories. In every Cinderella version that we read, how did that main character act? With kindness. Even though others were treating her how? Poorly. So that's a good lesson for all of you and the Sims to learn. And never forget that even when we're treated poorly, we still should treat others with kindness and respect. Okay, good job. It was evident that the students met the objectives of this lesson in their ability to sort details from the different versions of Cinderella, also to compare and contrast on a Venn diagram, and then use that information to write their opinion of the best Cinderella story. It was also evident that they've truly met the objective of my overall classroom goal in how these children spoke to one another with kindness, how they encouraged one another in their small group table time, and how they shared and were accepting of the differences of opinion. Them meeting this objective means more to me than I could explain. When they truly grasp the importance of encouraging one another and being a classroom that respects one another's differences, they will push each other to achieve greatness. The only part of this lesson that I would change would be the portion in which we created our rubric for the opinion writing. I asked students to assist me in creating the rubric. However, if I were to teach this part differently, I would have a rubric with part of it already completed for the students and then allow them to fill in missing pieces. I feel like this would ensure the students to start with the title, move into an introduction, then sharing opinion, and on throughout the writing process so that it would be in sequential order instead of just randomly tossing out ideas of things that should be included in the rubric. After this lesson, students revisited their rubric the next day, and then they added additions, things that they had left out in our initial discussion of the rubric. They then used the revised rubric to complete their opinion of the best Cinderella story.